The racist consequences of Franklin D. Roosevelt's 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act, which established the federal minimum wage, are profound and rooted in specific exclusions designed to placate powerful Southern Democrats. The most damaging aspect was the deliberate omission of agricultural and domestic workers from the law's protections regarding minimum wage and maximum hours. This exclusion was not an oversight, it was a political compromise made to ensure the bill's passage. Southern legislators explicitly demanded these exemptions because these sectors were overwhelmingly dominated by black laborers in the Jim Crow South. Setting a federal wage floor for black workers was seen by segregationists as an unacceptable infringement on the racial economic order, which depended on keeping black wages low. By excluding farm laborers and domestic servants, cooks, maids, gardeners, etc., the FLSA denied wage protection to an estimated 60% of the black workforce at the time, institutionalizing a racially discriminatory two-tiered labor system. This effectively left the vast majority of black workers vulnerable to exploitation and cemented their subordinate economic status, while white workers benefited from the new federal floor. This structural racism in the original legislation contributed significantly to the intergenerational wealth gap that persists today. Furthermore, the FLSA's eventual handling of tipping reinforced another racially motivated labor practice. While the 1938 Act did not initially cover most restaurant workers, subsequent amendments and judicial interpretations solidified the concept of a subminimum wage for tipped employees. Tipping itself, as a widespread practice in the U.S., grew significantly after the Civil War as a mechanism to employ newly freed black Americans in service roles, particularly in restaurants and on railroads, without paying them a direct wage, forcing them to rely on customer gratuities. This was a deliberate system to maintain economic and social control. When the FLSA finally included tipped service workers, it codified this historical injustice by allowing employers to take a tip credit, paying a federally mandated subminimum wage, currently frozen at $2.30 per hour, on the assumption that tips will make up the difference. As a result, workers of color today, who are disproportionately represented in tipped industries like food service, are more likely to earn poverty wages and face additional financial precarity due to relying on the unpredictable nature of customer gratuities, which themselves can be subject to customer racial bias. Thus, the structure of the FLSA perpetuated historic racial inequalities, both through outright exclusion in 1938 and through the codification of the racially charged tipping system in later years.